live Q&A from the shop. I'm pretty excited because I have Les with me. She's going to be starting an eBay store, which is super exciting. I have a lot on my plate right now, 2 young kids. I've got a lot of employees, and I do not have the desire or time to start another eBay store, but Les is going to from scratch. So pretty exciting. I'm going to have her introduce herself, and then we're going to get into, hopefully you guys have some questions, but I'm going to go over what I'm going to try to do, which is help her make $70,000 a year profit.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm Les. I'm a recent UC Berkeley grad. My major was poli-sci. I have absolutely no resale store experience. I'm just a thrifter. So I'm really excited for all of this, and I'm really excited to learn from Chris. He's already given me so much insight, and yeah.
So it's really cool because today we actually went over our first haul video. We filmed our first haul video. Les found about 50 items from home that she's no longer using, doesn't fit, or doesn't want it anymore. So we're going to resell those items to get started, because I always want people to start at home and get items from their house to get started. And we're going to start with those items, and then we're going to move into different areas of the Bay Area, and we're going to look for merchandise. Like today we actually went to the Goodwill bins too to check it out locally. I am shocked that I live like 2 miles from the bins. I haven't been in a long time because I switched to buying new stuff, but I think actually she's my neighbor kind of. So we're like 2 miles from the Goodwill bins, which is crazy because people like commute 12 hours to the closest Goodwill bins. And we were there earlier, and there's a lot of people who are commuting from 30, 40 minutes away or further to go there. So we're blessed. And so, you know, as far as the experiment goes, we live so close to the bins. It's going to be a huge advantage to getting stuff to go. But again, we're hoping that within 6 months I can get her to $1,500 a week profit, $1,500 a week profit, and I'm pretty jazzed. At the end of the experiment, she'll have the opportunity to either take the store to a storage unit or her house, or she just can't do it here because I only want to do this experiment for 6 months to give her all the tools to teach somebody how to fish. So I'm super jazzed. Let's see it.
They're wondering whether you got your eBay store back.
Unfortunately, no. I am still banned, so I do not have my eBay account back. Maybe one day. I think they are trying to figure out a program where people who were banned before can get their accounts back, but I'm currently still off. I'm going to be following Les's store, her items. I'm just going to be an advisor for 6 months, and then I'm going to be off the project.
Yeah, and we're going to document it all the way.
What's up, Max? We did notice you.
Noticed you.
I didn't get it back, and I would be jazzed about it. My Poshmark closet is live. It's Reseller Nirvana if you guys want to check it out. But I'm really just listing items that I have like 100 of in there. So multiple replenishables is really what I'm focusing on my Poshmark closet. Not listing one-off items, but that's going to be what Les is mainly focusing on, is building up a store of, here's sort of the parameters, 4,000 items or less, $10 profit or more. In the new reseller blueprint, which is on dailyrefinement.com, it's live now. There's a lot of people out there with a $5 profit, so I'm going to put that in there. It's not what I recommend, but at the Goodwill bins, it's pretty easy to find an item for $2 or garage sale, flea market. So if you can sell for $8 or more plus shipping, you actually will make $5 profit. That's like not what I recommend, because you would run out of time before you make enough money, but at least you would understand profit and loss. So I have that in there, $5 profit, $10 profit, $20 profit, which is what I recommend. But I think it's pretty intimidating for a beginner to find something that's $50 or more, except the best offer of $35. And we just went through Les's items, and she probably paid $500 to $1,000 for the items, and I was sort of expecting a return value of $50, because I don't want to wait 2 years for her items to sell. I want her to get that money now.
Yeah, when he said that, I was pretty bummed. I was like, $50? I probably paid like $500 for this. But I mean, it is what it is. If you're in the reseller mindset, you're thinking of, I need to get money to start this store, and I mean, that's what we got to do.
You guys are free to ask questions in the chat. This is a live Q&A. But I'm excited because so much of my audience is reselling. And this morning it was weird because it kind of felt like my funeral at the morning call, because everyone was like, because I was considering not doing content anymore after this year. I was just going to do a weekly mastermind call for people once a week and just help the people who I've already helped. But then like people were like saying, no, you can't stop the quilt. So I don't know if I'm going to stop it or not. I just feel like I've been doing this for 7 years. I'm kind of ready to do the next project. But if people are still finding value, maybe I'll continue doing it. But I was thinking about just fading off into the sunset. Thank you, reselling world, and just go do something else for another 7 to 10 years. But
You were literally getting recognized this morning.
and this is shocking. At the Goodwill bins, I can still get recognized. Somebody was like, "I listened to your videos right before going to sleep," and then I wake up and I am excited to work on my store. I was shocked. There were 2 kids that were 18 years old listening to my YouTube content. When I started this YouTube channel, they were 11. They were babies in middle school. So I was thinking about what else can I do, because I've been talking about this topic for so long, so many years. So I was shocked at the Goodwill bins that they recognized me this late in the game, like right away. So I got to talk to some other resellers in person, and I looked at how they were sourcing, and I'm surprised. A lot of them picked up a lot of stuff in my videos recently. So even though I don't talk specifically about eBay anymore, people are still watching my old content and relating what I'm currently doing now to their eBay stores, which is super cool.
They're asking, are you going to be documenting her entire journey? I'm going to restart my store and will love to follow your method with her.
Yeah, we're going to start from scratch, from zero. So
Yeah.
one thing that's kind of challenging in the beginning is people don't have a lot of cash. So we're going to go to the local shops, Crossroads, Buffalo Exchanges. These are our local consignment shops, and see if they'll buy some of her items, because ideally I don't want to use any of her money and I don't want to use any of my money. I want to just go around the shop with what I have, with stuff that she has at home, and we'll try to build a business out of that, because that resourcefulness is me showing her that she doesn't have to work for somebody in the future. That's my whole goal. At the end, she's like, "Chris, thank you. I can now work for myself. I can run my own business if I want to." And she might shut the store down. She might continue. We don't know yet.
They're wondering if you can introduce yourself again, your name, and your on a scale of 1 to 10, what your current knowledge at reselling is, and have you ever sold anything before?
Okay. Hey guys. Again, my name is Les. I just graduated UC Berkeley with the major in political science. On a scale 1 to 10, my resale knowledge. Did you say knowledge? Maybe like a 4. I thrift actively, but more so for my personal style. I've sold a few things on Depop, but other than that, that's it. So yeah, I would rate it like a 4. I mean, this morning Chris was like, I thrifted this shirt, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, like look at the tag and like the stitching," and I was like, "What?" So yeah, it's a 4. I'm really a beginner, so I'm really excited.
So this is cool, because earlier she bought 2 shirts for about $1.
Yeah.
And I was looking at them. I think that they would resell for between $3 and $8. So these items I typically would not resell, because they don't get enough money. They are profitable. They're worth way more than $1, but I would be a little bit more picky. And I was like, I mean, this is weird to say out loud, but I think the Goodwill bins is bougie now. Last time I went, it was way grimier. It was way dirtier. And now it's like Saks Fifth Avenue up in there. It's so nice compared to when I used to go. So Goodwill is up their game. It's a lot nicer than before. It is in like the worst neighborhood. We're in Oakland, and it's like not the best area, which I think most Goodwills are not in the best area. But like, it's a little bit dangerous, especially if you were there dropping a lot of money on a lot of inventory. The people that I met, they're 18, but they're both dropping a couple $100s today, which is a lot of money at the Goodwill bins. They're trying to come up. And I haven't seen that look in someone's eyes in a long time. Like, they really wanted to make it. And I haven't seen that. I see a lot of people who want to resell, but they look like they'd be okay if they didn't resell, or they don't even really want to do it. They're just doing it because they have to. I saw some, I'm making this work eyes today, and that's a little bit different.
Coverin TV says, please, do you have any advice for me? I resell in the UK, but need help sourcing for bulk items in the UK.
So bulk is very interesting. It's going to be different at every single place. I'm only buying bulk right now, and it's really the focus of my entire day. This morning I spent 2 hours talking to a new supplier. They wanted to know, like, how much can I handle? What kind of terms am I looking for? What is my normal turn of inventory? What kinds of items do I buy? What quantity? What condition? It's like an interview process. It's like dating somebody, because suppliers really just want to work with 10 people or less. They're not looking to sell to thousands of people. It's too complicated, because a supplier needs to give you very specific things for you to be successful. So it's hard for them to have 20 partners. They want to just have a few people that they supply. Most of the suppliers that I work with only work with 10 people or less, some even 5 people or less. So it just takes time, and you want to present yourself the best you can. That's why I'm working on making my business the best that I can, because that's how you get more suppliers. Also, before 10 people complain. I am installing railings this week on this loft so that we don't fall off and die, and we're not that close to the edge. We're like 8 feet from the edge. So I understand it is a safety thing, it's an OSHA thing. I'm putting up railings, don't worry. And I'm on the side closest to the edge. I'm preserving Les's livelihood. But yeah, we're trying to not die here and do this podcast for you in a cool manner. I always wanted the background of the shop. And one of the reasons why I picked Les is because I want to do it in person. I've been doing Zoom for so long. So I'm over it. I would like to do something in person, meet the person. I'm the opposite of a lone wolf. I like people. So I don't know if it's a fear of being alone, but I do like doing it with people in real life. It's very different. We went to the bins today, look at things live. It's just so different than talking on a computer screen.
There are a lot of questions asking what niche you guys are going to be concentrating on for Les's store. Is it just clothing? Or
This is such a good question because, also the username question has popped up. We don't know yet. I had her make a list yesterday. Yesterday was her first day of 20 usernames that we might pick, and kind of want to do a play on words on her name, Les, but also we want to. I don't want to put Les's junky finds or we want something that exudes quality, right? So we want a cool name. Here's the thing. She already likes clothes. So in theory, I would just pick something that she likes. But this is my concern. People will complain on YouTube that it's too easy because she already likes clothes. Because she's already into it. So she doesn't know which brands to buy, what to buy them for, how to describe them yet. But she already likes it. And I feel like that's 50% of the battle. So is it unfair for me to pick something that she already likes? Oh, let me know in the chat.
There's a question asking, what was Les buying when she was thrifting?
That's a good question.
For yourself.
Previously or this morning?
What do you thrift?
Yeah.
Oh, so usually when I thrift, it's really just personal pieces. Occasionally, if I'm this is for my boyfriend or family members, but yeah, just personal pieces. I don't know, just things that call my attention. If you're going to the thrift store or any store and you're what do I want to buy? It's essentially the same at the bins, except you have to take your time and look through everything. But yeah, just shopping for my personal closet.
So this is the part that's really interesting. Because we only live 5 minutes from the bins, Les can be super picky. So she could find Versace and we could pass because it has a stain on it. Because there's just so much opportunity here to look through things that you could be at the bins I think the bins here are open for 8 hours or longer.
8 to 4.
8 to 4. So that's 8 hours of being open. It's pretty much impossible to not find something. The only thing that would prevent you is it's kind of hot outside all day. It's outside, which is interesting. But you're going to run into good items when you're there, and you can be really, really picky. I think that's really the part that people don't, they are not as picky as they think. They're there, they find a couple of items, and they leave, and they go home, and they find a couple of holes in them. Before you leave, you've got 10 opportunities to double check the item to make sure it's as good as you can. And when you go home, if there's a hole in it, still list it with the hole on it. Just expect a little bit less money. I was looking through Les's items. A lot of them are items that are basically in perfect condition. Some of them have flaws, but when you have your own items, you should be able to describe them better than anybody else. Also, the sizes of her clothes from her closet are really small. That's another reason why it's hard to resell size extra small. If she was a large, extra large, instead of it being worth 50, it'd probably be worth 200. That's how big of a difference it is between small and extra large, because most people are size large. So
Opan says, Chris, out of all the different selling platforms, which do you think is the most problematic? Which platform gives you the most issues?
Oh my goodness. Every platform has its own problems and issues, and I'm a problem expert. There's so many problems. I know about all the problems. I've had all the problems. I would say that the most difficult platform to learn is eBay because it has the most item specifics.
And that's the one we're starting on.
That's the one we're starting on. So after we do that, she'll be able to do anything because Depop, Poshmark, Mercari are the easiest. Mm-hmm. You're going to have minimum item specifics. Yeah. they're going to be more geared towards recency. So whatever's listed most recently sells on Poshmark and Mercari. So if it doesn't sell right away, it could be sitting for a while. eBay is more built for a store. So like in the beginning, I'm okay with her listing on all the different platforms to learn what she likes, what she doesn't like. If she loves Mercari, then we might end up focusing on Mercari because she likes it. And whatever you're consistent with is what's going to matter most. So this is a little interesting because once she starts liking something, I'm going to latch onto that, and we're just going to do that until we reach this goal of around $6,000 profit per month. Because I will talk about this more, but when we were at Goodwill, I noticed like 100 things because I haven't been there in a while, and I was like, oh my god, you can do this. For a minute last week, I was saying there's no way you could do this, but like you just have to go to a place where you can look through thousands of items. You go to Goodwill or Salvation Army, you're looking through hundreds of items at best, and like it's already been cherry picked by the store. It's been cherry picked by all the people who went to the store. So you're buying like a Banana Republic shirt for $9, and that's not going to work. It's not a good brand. It's not a good resale value. You're paying way too much. But you can go to the bins, and I haven't been in a while, and you can dig through all that stuff, and there was easily 30 people there at 8 in the morning. So it wasn't like Sacramento. The Sacramento bins that I went to was like ridiculous, like 100 people there. But it is what it is. I know for sure the stuff in Oakland is not as nice as San Francisco. So if you guys go to South San Francisco to those bins, or Sacramento, there's a lot of money in Sacramento, Roseville. Those places are going to have maybe more premium pieces. But it's kind of quiet where we are. It's kind of like not as good, just sort of medium, mids. People don't like mids. They're not going to be interested in stuff that sells for $10 to $30.
Yeah.
I talked to a guy that was trying to 10x his money. He's like, I want to turn 10 into 100 every time. I don't know if this is the right place for that. It's more like San Francisco, Sacramento, San Jose for those kinds of crazy rich people. Oakland is more low-key.
Kevin TV says, you have Goodwill bins. What's the UK equivalent?
It's actually the same. So Goodwill and Salvation Army and charity shops in the UK, they sell their stuff that doesn't sell to companies on the back end, and those back end companies is how you would sell bulk. So like they're either rag houses where items get turned into rags literally, or they are secondhand savvy shops that sell to different suppliers that they know. In the UK, in my opinion, it's a little bit more mature than here because you guys have been around a lot longer. So in the US, we're still trying to figure it out. In the UK, those channels are all kind of established. You can find people that have been selling for 30 to 50 years that have all those plugs. You just got to figure out why they would work with you because they probably don't need your business. So got to figure out an in. It's easier if you know somebody. Try to find somebody already shopping there and go with them. Try to say, we'll go together and get a better bulk discount together. That was big. Today at the Goodwill bins, I met 2 people working together. That helps a lot. You can share space. You can share resources. You can share a carpool. Here, if you're not driving in the carpool lane, it sucks. If we're going to like Dublin or San Jose or the city, and we're not in the carpool lane, it can take like 10 times as long.
But even nowadays, the carpool lane is now 3 people.
Now the carpool lane is 3 people. So anybody out in the Bay Area want to go with us, let us know.
Carrie says, send her to my call in the mornings.
That's right. So I have a call in the morning every morning, and then there's also a beginner call. So if you want to attend, you can. You can hang out with Carrie in the beginner call and ask her questions and how to get things going, how to optimize titles. And even when I was listing on Whatnot earlier, I was listing like things I think would help it sell. She found a one-piece shirt, and she found a vintage Fila Made in USA t-shirt. So like those are things that could sell if they're marketed right.
Calvin's asking, do you think you can make $1 million on Mercari?
It depends on what time frame. I think you could do $1 million every year on Mercari. I don't think you could do it. It just depends. $1 million is around $2,700 a day. So if we're talking $30 on average, it's about 100 sales a day on Mercari. If you were trying to sell that volume, I wouldn't pick Mercari. It doesn't have as much volume. But you can definitely sell. I mean, Mercari probably has millions of transactions a day. I'd be surprised if there's not many people on Mercari already doing $1 million a year.
John says, I saw a YouTube video. LP has AI listing tool that uses AI to make listings in seconds.
It's not that hard to make a listing. When Les does it, it's going to take her less than a minute to do a listing. I don't know how many listings you're doing, but she's only going to focus on 20 or less. The goal is 20 listings a day or less. So like if you're doing it on your own, that's like an hour, right? You could use AI and trust the robot. I think AI in the next 4 or 5 years is going to become really good, but I don't think it's necessary. If you have a great item, you don't need AI to write a description. People don't need an essay. They just need condition, features. Does it have pockets? What color is it? Is it cute? Show me all the pictures. AI is not something that I'm afraid of. I think it's just useful, but I'm not a fan of services that charge people to list. I think you should save that money. Les could spend $20 to $100 a month for a listing service, or she could buy 5 to 20 more items. I'd rather have a bigger store. Yesterday, I had this crazy realization that big companies don't need social media. Like, they could have an Instagram or YouTube channel, but they don't need it. They just do a good job. Walmart, Target, these companies don't need community. They don't need to tell people how long they're in business. They just have good deals, good selection. People go there and buy stuff, even like without even thinking. They just go in there and spend $100 and come out. I want that kind of store. I want Les to have that kind of store where the items speak for themselves. Maybe her username should be doesn't matter, because it's not about that.
Max says, hey, I'm in the UK and I'm struggling to find items to list. Have you got any advice on how to source items?
Yes. So sourcing items is just thinking about where they come from. So used clothing, the majority of it is donated. So doesn't fit, too small, ugly, don't care, bored. You go to Goodwill, Salvation Army, drop it off for free. They take it, they do something with it. Along the way, you can get it. You can get it either before they throw it away. Today, I actually saw the did you see the bales? So when it doesn't sell on the blue bins, they put it in that machine and it squishes it into a cube. So like those bales, sometimes they ship them from here to the UK and people in the UK buy them. I mean, we're talking like 5 cents a pound, 10 cents a pound for clothing. And our rate where we live is $2 per pound. So if it doesn't sell for $2 a pound, they discount it to 5 cents a pound. Like 95% off if it doesn't sell, right? And this is where like people I think they don't really know what things are worth. Like this shirt that I'm wearing is worth less than 1 penny. It's worth nothing. So like they would sell 10 of these shirts for 1 penny. So that's like, you got to figure out where things come from and where they go when they're not used, and that's how you source. Sourcing means figure out where it came from. So sourcing is the same in every country. There's nothing special about the UK. You guys also get bored of your clothing. You also gain a lot of weight over the holiday season. Can't fit it anymore. It's the same thing. You guys might have it as bad as we do over here. I've been to the UK. It's just like here.
Along the same lines, specifically, Cover and TV says, where do I start looking for bulk suppliers in the UK? Is it the same thing?
It's the same thing. The people that have the business to business. I think you're looking for a phone number and a name, because there's not that. Even if you knew somebody at the store, their position's going to change. So it's more about, it really is the person and why they would want to do business with you. I know that's not the answer you're looking for. You're looking for an email address, their phone number, and their minimum order, but that's not how it works. Today, when I was talking to my new supplier, I asked, what is the minimum order? And he said 100,000. So that's really expensive.
Yeah, wow. Another question asking, are you doing Amazon FBA as well? If so, are you doing wholesale, RA, or OA?
I am not doing Amazon FBA right now. I do have an Amazon FBA account. I just had the last books that I was selling returned to me. Amazon FBA is more of an advanced form of reselling, in my opinion, because you really got to think about how long it's going to take to sell, because their fees are really expensive. eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, they do not charge you for storage. They charge you to post, charge you if it sells, but they don't charge you for storage like Amazon. So I'm currently not on there. Hold on one second.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll ask this question. Chris K, the producer, says, I tried Whatnot for 2 months and gave up. Do you think it's possible doing it with one palette at a time?
Of course. Jen? Asha needs something to stand on. Asha needs something to stand on. She's too short. I don't know if we can find something for her. This is real life, guys. I'll show you short. She's like 5 feet tall, so sometimes when she's showing long dresses, she needs something to stand on. So as far as whatnot goes, let me know in the chat if we should do this or not. Everything is really about consistency. So if I make Les do a show, I'm thinking every Friday, the whole year, right? She's going to start with 0 followers, 0 following, nothing, right? And I might even call her stream not Les, so it's not her, so you guys can't find her, right?
Not less.
And if it's not Les, you won't know it's her. Then, if she shows up 26 times in a row, I think by the end of the year she'll have a following. It just takes a while to get going on whatnot.
So 2 months is not enough?
It's not enough. It's like I think that it consistent, and also now, it's more mature. People on whatnot, they have the people that they like to shop from. So she's got to compete with hundreds of other sellers doing the same thing. So it's not that easy. It's going to take some time to build some traction. I actually think that this might be a hot take, but if you have a small store under 500 items, why not show all of them on whatnot every week? Just go through it. 1, 2, 3. You already have the numbering system that we use for eBay. We're going to use a numbering inventory system. So Les's items are going to be numbered 1 through infinity. So she'll be like, item number 7 is this Echo Unlimited shirt. Do you guys want it for $5? She's a small seller. I'm not expecting her to do dollar stars. She's going to start it at a profit, go through her whole set, and if somebody buys something, somebody buys something. But like, what a great way to not accidentally double sell something on eBay or Poshmark. You can run the show, right? Make sure that that you remove the item right after the show if it sells, and you're good to go. But I feel like in the beginning, we need that cash. So she's going to go to Plato's Closet, Buffalo Exchange, Crossroads, try to sell off this inventory quick so we can get some cash to start.
Max is asking, do you respond to Instagram DMs?
I forgot my Instagram password. To be honest, I don't. I haven't logged into Instagram for a minute. I don't know what the password is. I will, though, eventually get back into that, but I haven't been checking social media at all.
So the best way to contact you is Chris.
Is my email, so I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, Chris at dailyrefinement.com.
Oops.
Chris K, the producer, says, we got over 700 followers in 2 months and had a following and consistent buyers, but we found we were spending too much time shipping, sorting, organizing, and sweating for barely any profit.
That's the thing. Like, we're going to have to figure out if it's worth our time to sell on Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, whatnot. So let's say, for example, we do a show for 2 hours on Friday, and Les is like, I think it's better we just spend that 2 hours list on Poshmark, and we don't have to, like, get psyched up and then get excited on stream and dance around to get people to buy stuff. And then after shipping, honestly, shipping, sorting, organizing is the same as selling on fixed price. It shouldn't be different. The only thing is maybe you wouldn't do a bad job listing it on Poshmark. You would do the same quality job as selling it on stream here. We try to get good lighting, good staging, everything good, just like we would on eBay, Poshmark, or Mercari. It's the same.
Coverin TV is asking, is there a time frame for the email feedback?
Whenever I'm free. There's not, I don't charge for email feedback, so whenever I have extra time. I'm not that busy, but I do have 2 kids, 18 employees, and a YouTube channel. So like, there's stuff that I'm working on, so I'll get back to you as soon as I can, hopefully.
Do you guys have any more questions?
If not, we're going to record our podcast. I'm excited to get back into it because this is going to be season 2 where we try to get to $70,000 profit, about $1,400 a week in 6 months from zero. I was a little bit scared, but honestly, going to Goodwill today gave me hope because I was like, there's so many donations. There's like, here, I'll show you a picture. Let's see. I thought it was pretty bougie. I'll show you this picture. It's like, and by bougie I mean it's just like not dirty. Like it was just a tent with pallets in it. Oh, well, there we go. Yeah. So I thought it looked really nice. It was really clean. I'm comfortable working. Like I could hang out there all day. It's not that bad. Let's see. When it comes to taxes, do I use a local CPA? Yes, but you do not need a CPA that only knows about e-commerce. It's not that much different than a regular store, to be honest. Except for, I actually think e-commerce is probably easier than a brick and mortar store because there's a lot less overhead. So you can use a normal CPA that has done any kind of retail business, in my opinion.
Covering TV, will this live broadcast be available later? Yes, it will, for sure.
I guess for us is that we have one buyer buy 30 items and you have to put it in one box instead of one at a time. I think it's easier to ship on Whatnot than eBay because there's so few buyers. Like, I'd rather put 30 items in one box than send 30 individual boxes. It just depends on the way that your shipping is set up. We're actually designed here for 16 orders or less. When it's more than 16, it takes a little bit longer, but that's not usually a bad thing. That just means customers really like to buy from you.
Max says, not a question, but I'm 17 and dropped out of college last year. I was so scared about what I was going to do with my life, but your channel has helped me out so much. You have changed my life. That's so sweet.
Thank you for that. Much appreciated. But I do think that maybe, I think that there's a place for school. So I'm not one of those anti-school people. I think you learn, and I just picked a college grad to do this experiment. So like, I think that there are values, time management, friendship building, relationship building. Time management specifically for college is really important. So I think ideally I'm still going to recommend you go back to school if you're 17 because you can make money later. In your 20s, you can dick around and like find yourself. It's fine. You still have plenty of time when you get older. I think it's okay as long as you are trying to find yourself instead of just wasting time. Your 20s can be for exploration. Actually, I thought this is weird for her to have there's a whole bunch of people that went to Cal that work for me, which is shocking. So it's like you never would expect that. But if you find something that works for you, you can pursue it. But I do think there's a lot of value in school. Maybe not how to earn money, but like definitely other skills.
Javier says, how many checking accounts and credit cards are good for running an average e-commerce business?
One checking account. One savings account, one debit card or credit card I think is good. And I'm not going to have Les use any credit cards. She's not going to use any credit cards, no debt. But you could, if you want to, and in theory, use that debt to buy stuff that you could sell for more than the debt. But it's a little scary, and a lot of people get in trouble doing that. So I kind of recommend one checking account, one debit card. I'm not going to have her open a separate bank account yet, because she might not like it. Maybe in a week she's like, Chris, this is garbage. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm gone. I'm getting a real job. And then she wouldn't have spent like $1,000 starting an LLC, new bank account. Just doesn't matter in the beginning. In the beginning, just use it under your social security number. Then as you get a little more traction, you can open one separate bank account and you're good to go.
Another question, how much percentage do you think your warehouse costs should be of your revenue? What is a good number in your opinion?
My warehouse costs are like between 1 and 5%, depending on the month. But I think that like 5% or less is probably fine. Margin's really hard to find. It's hard to get. So like when you're at home, you're at 0. But like up to 5%, I think is fine. I think that space is probably one of the cheapest parts of your resale business. Getting a bigger space is usually cheaper than operating in too cramped of a space.
Max is asking, do you employ people remotely? Do you have anyone remotely right now?
I have a lady that works in Sacramento. She thrifts her own items and streams for me. That's one. I have one VA. That's it. So one VA and one remote person. Because here's the thing. I like working with people in person. I could get more remote people. They are cheaper in general, but just because like California is more expensive. But I'm good with operating more so in person. Not looking for remote help right now.
Javier's, they asked about the credit cards. They say you don't use separate accounts for funneling.
What is funneling?
Not sure.
I don't.
Like money going in? Like funneling money in?
No. I don't. I just have my whole resale business as one thing, one entity.
Why would you recommend having a separate bank account for your business?
I think it's it's very messy mixing in your personal and business. And what I want for Les is for the money to come in, and like a third of it goes to taxes. So that's what the business savings account's for. A third of it she gets to spend on whatever she wants, shoes or vacation. And then a third of it gets saved or reinvested into either growing the store or for a rainy day fund. So she is currently living on less than half her income. So kudos. And I recommend everybody to do that. That wasn't on purpose. I didn't put that on the job application, but it makes her a lot less stressed about money. Is like if your bills are $4,000 and you're making $3,000, and you're trying to learn reselling on the side, that's a really tough situation.
Dawn's asking, are you going to make weekly videos on her progress that week?
I want to make 26 podcasts, and then we just filmed the haul video. I want to film all of it. That way you guys can do it, because I feel like what I am doing is completely unrelatable. I don't know what to even tell you guys about what I do during the day. You'd just be like, I have no idea what any of that is. And a lot of people are like, they don't even want their cousin to help on Saturday. So like, I don't know what having all these employees, like, it's a different, it's very different.
We got a new member.
Thank you, Gek Now, for becoming a channel member. I appreciate that. This channel is a labor of love. It does not make that much money. So like I make more, I know it's hard to believe, but I make more money reselling than I do making content. But it is what it is. Appreciate you guys. If we don't have any more questions, we're going to record the podcast this week. And we'll see you guys next time at this live time. Let me know if this is a good time for live, if you guys are available. And I think it's
Tuesday.
It's kind of late in the UK. It's probably like 9 p.m. over there. But appreciate every